Once upon a time, in a quiet little town in America, there lived two 8-year-old girls, Emma and Chloe. Emma was sweet, gentle, and kind. She loved helping people. Even small things made her smile. But Chloe was very different. She didn't care much about others. If someone needed help, she usually ignored them. The two girls went to the same school every single day, but everyone noticed how different they were. One bright Monday morning, Emma skipped happily down the sidewalk. Her pink backpack bounced behind her. Birds chirped softly in the trees. The warm sunlight covered the street like gold. "Good morning, Mrs. Carter." Emma waved excitedly. Mrs. Carter smiled from her garden. "Well, good morning, sweetheart." Emma giggled happily. Then suddenly, she noticed an elderly man near the road. He was carrying several heavy grocery bags. One bag nearly slipped from his hand. "Oh no," Emma whispered softly. Without waiting, she quickly ran toward him. "Sir, wait." The old man looked surprised. "Oh, hello there." Emma pointed at the bags. "Those look really heavy." The man laughed tiredly. "They sure are." Emma smiled warmly. "I can help you." Before he could answer, Emma carefully picked up one of the bags. "Oh," she laughed. "These apples are super heavy." The old man chuckled. "You're very kind." Just then, Chloe walked past them. She stopped for a moment. Her eyebrows lowered immediately. "What are you doing?" Chloe asked. Emma looked up. "I'm helping him carry groceries." Chloe crossed her arms. "Why?" Emma blinked softly. "Because he needs help." Chloe rolled her eyes. "Well, that sounds boring." Then she walked away. The old man looked uncomfortable, but Emma simply smiled again. "It's okay," she whispered kindly. After helping him, Emma hurried toward school. Inside the classroom, Mrs. Wilson was struggling with a huge stack of books. "Oh dear," the teacher sighed. "These are heavier than I thought." Emma immediately rushed over. "I'll help." Mrs. Wilson smiled warmly. "Thank you, Emma." Together, they carefully carried the books across the classroom. Meanwhile, Chloe sat quietly at her desk drawing stars in her notebook. Mrs. Wilson glanced toward her. "Chloe, could you help with the last stack?" Chloe didn't even look up. "No thanks." The classroom suddenly became quiet. A few children looked surprised. Emma looked uncomfortable, but she stayed silent. At recess, children laughed and played across the playground. Some kids played tag. Others climbed the jungle gym. Everything felt cheerful. Then suddenly, thud. A little boy named Noah tripped near the swings. "Ow!" he cried. His knee scraped hard against the gravel. Several children stared for a second, then continued playing. Emma gasped. "Oh no. No." She ran over quickly. "Are you okay?" Tears filled Noah's eyes. "My knee hurts." Emma knelt beside him carefully. "It's okay," she whispered gently. "You'll be all right." She pulled tissues from her backpack. Very softly, she cleaned the scrape. Nearby, Chloe sat eating chips on the bench. Noah looked toward her hopefully. "Can you get the teacher?" Chloe shrugged. "I'm busy." Emma quickly stood up. "I'll go." She ran across the playground as fast as she could. That evening, dark clouds covered the sky. Rain poured loudly outside. Thunder rumbled in the distance. Emma sat near the window coloring pictures quietly. Then suddenly, she noticed something outside. A tiny puppy. The poor little puppy trembled beside the sidewalk. Its fur was completely soaked from the rain. "Oh no," Emma whispered sadly. She grabbed her little raincoat immediately. Her mother looked surprised. "Emma, where are you going?" "There's a puppy outside." Emma hurried into the rain. The puppy shivered badly. "It's okay," Emma whispered softly. "You're safe now." Very carefully, she wrapped the puppy inside her jacket. The puppy licked her hand weakly. Emma smiled. "Ah." A few houses away, Chloe watched from her bedroom window. She frowned. "That dog is dirty," she muttered. "Why would anyone touch it?" The next morning at school, everyone was talking excitedly. Emma rescued a puppy. "That's so sweet." Emma's cheeks turned pink. "It was cold outside," she said shyly. During art class, Mrs. Wilson clapped her hands happily. Today, everyone will work in pairs." The children cheered excitedly. Then Mrs. Wilson smiled. "Emma and Chloe will work together." Chloe groaned immediately. "Ugh." Emma stayed quiet. For the next several minutes, Emma painted carefully. Bright colors covered the paper beautifully. Meanwhile, Chloe leaned back in her chair looking bored. Then suddenly, splash! A cup of blue paint spilled everywhere. "Oh no!" Blue paint covered Chloe's shirt completely. "My shirt!" Chloe shouted. The classroom gasped. Chloe looked embarrassed. Very embarrassed. Some kids even giggled quietly. Before anyone moved, Emma grabbed tissues quickly. "Here," she said gently. "Let me help." Chloe looked shocked. "You're helping me?" Emma nodded softly. "Of course." Carefully, Emma cleaned the paint before it spread more. For a moment, Chloe just stared at her silently. After school, the warm afternoon sun glowed across the sidewalks. Children walked home laughing together. As Chloe crossed near a puddle, slip. She fell hard onto the wet ground. Her books flew everywhere. Kids nearby laughed loudly. Chloe's face turned bright red. Ow. Mud covered her notebooks. She looked upset. Really upset. Then suddenly, someone knelt beside her. It was Emma. "Careful," Emma whispered kindly. One by one, Emma picked up the wet books. Chloe stared at her. "Why do you keep helping me?" Emma looked confused. "Because you're hurt." Chloe became very quiet. For the first time, she felt guilty. That night, Chloe sat alone in her bedroom. Rain tapped softly against the window. Everything felt quiet. Very quiet. She remembered Noah crying on the playground. She remembered ignoring Mrs. Wilson. She remembered walking away from the old man. And somehow, Emma had still been kind to her. Even after everything. Chloe looked down sadly. "Maybe," she whispered. "Maybe I haven't been very nice." The next morning, the school bus stopped beside the sidewalk. Children climbed aboard noisily. Emma sat near the window smiling peacefully. A few minutes later, an elderly woman slowly entered the bus using a cane. She looked around nervously. Every seat was full. Before Emma could stand, Chloe suddenly stood up first. "You can sit here," Chloe said quietly. The bus became silent. The old woman smiled warmly. "Oh, thank you, dear." Emma's eyes widened in surprise. Chloe looked shy. Very shy. Later that afternoon, during lunch, Noah accidentally dropped his juice box. Splat. Juice spilled across the table. "Oh no," Noah whispered sadly. Before anyone else moved, Chloe grabbed napkins quickly. "It's okay," she said. "I'll help clean it." Noah blinked in surprise. "Really?" Chloe nodded softly. Emma smiled proudly from across the cafeteria. Day by day, little by little, Chloe slowly began changing. She helped younger students carry books. She opened doors for teachers. She shared crayons during art class. And every single time she helped someone, she noticed something wonderful. Helping people felt good. Really good. One sunny afternoon, Mrs. Wilson gathered the entire class together. "I want to talk about kindness," she announced warmly. The classroom became quiet. Mrs. Wilson smiled gently. "Kindness can change people in beautiful ways." Then she looked toward Emma and Chloe. "I think these two girls taught us something very special." Emma smiled softly. Chloe blushed bright pink. After school, the girls walked home together beneath the glowing orange sunset. The cool evening breeze moved gently through the trees. Then Chloe looked at Emma quietly. "Emma." "Yes. Why were you always kind to me? Even when I ignored everyone?" Emma thought for a moment. Then she smiled warmly. "My mom says kindness matters most. When someone needs it the most." Chloe's eyes filled with emotion. A tiny smile slowly appeared on her face. And from that day forward, Emma and Chloe became best friends. Together, they helped people. Together, they spread kindness everywhere they went. And little by little, their kindness made the whole town brighter. Like and subscribe for the more video.